Sawadee Kap. Welcome to Break Time with Monte. Today's story, Nok-Air skips meeting, faces probe. Nok-Air faces a probe as its executives failed to show up for a scheduled meeting Monday with aviation authorities after hundreds of passengers were left stranded on Sunday during a pilot strike. Carrier punishes pilots who went on strike. Nok-Air executives failed to show up for a scheduled meeting Monday with aviation authorities after hundreds of passengers were left stranded on Sunday when the airline's pilots went on strike. Almost a dozen Nok-Air pilots walked off the job because the airline boosted auditing of aviation management to be in line with standards set by the European Aviation Safety Agency. The incident prompted aviation authorities to call an urgent meeting Monday with 14 domestic and international airlines operating regular flights. All except Nok-Air attended the meeting, chaired by Deputy Transport Minister Omzen Shavarapuk. Nok-Air executives informed the aviation authorities it was hiding an internal meeting to tackle the problem. Pati Sarasin, chief executive of Nok-Air, told reporters in the morning that he had a photo shoot session to attend. He also said the airline would punish the pilots. According to a Nok-Air statement released in the morning, the incident involves some disgruntled pilots who did not meet the audit requirements of the airline, which is in the process of upgrading its standards to pass the International Air Transport Association's Operation Safety Audit. Later in the day, Mr. Pati, communicating in a text message, said he would not talk to the media until the carrier comes up with a plan to resolve its internal problems. Shortly after his text message, Nok-Air released a statement saying it was taking action against 10 people believed to be responsible for Sunday's strike. Of them, 1 has been dismissed, 2 were suspended for 7 days from Monday until next Tuesday, and 7 others face an inquiry, including Deputy Vice President overseeing flight operations. Speaking after the meeting with the airline representatives, Mr. Omsen said all carriers are required to draw up contingency plans and appoint a manager on duty to make decisions in the case of emergencies, including abrupt flight cancellations. He said the airlines also required to submit a risk management plan to the Transport Ministry within 30 days. As for passengers, airlines are required to provide food and drink, communicate devices and accommodation as deemed appropriate, and compensation of 1,200 baht. A first violation will result in a warning. The second is punished by suspension of the air operator's license. The third results in revocation of the AOL, and that's up to the transport minister, he said. Discussing the Nok-Air incident, Mr. Omsen said the airline was required by law to compensate passengers affected by flight cancellations. He pointed out that no staff with decision-making power were sent to explain the situation to the passengers on Sunday, and this must not happen again as it could cause tension. He said the cabinet will be informed Tuesday of the Nok-Air incident and steps the aviation authorities have taken to resolve the matter. Amphawan Wanako, Deputy Director General of the Department of Airports, said an investigation would be launched into the incident and penalties would be meted out against Nok-Air. Transport Permanent Secretary Charchai Thipsunawi said Nok-Air management is expected to submit its explanation to the authorities in 3 days as to why the flights were canceled. 2 Nok-Air flights DD8722 Bangkok Chiang Rai and DD7318 Bangkok Ranong were rescheduled Monday due to insufficient staff and out-of-order conveyor belt. DD872 was rescheduled from 4:40 to 7 p.m., while DD7318 was delayed from 5:05 to 5:50 p.m. And now, today's vocabulary. Abrupt, abrupt. Accommodation, accommodation. Appoint, appoint. Appropriate, appropriate. Audit, 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 audit. Authorities, authorities. Aviation, aviation. Boost, boost. Cabinet, cabinet. Cancellation, cancellation. Carrier, carrier. Chair, chair. Chief executive, chief executive. Communicate, communicate. Compensation, compensation. Contingency plans, contingency plans. Conveyor belt, conveyor belt. Deemed, deemed. Delayed, delayed. Deputy, deputy. Device, device. Director general, director general. Disgruntled, disgruntled. Dismiss, dismiss. Domestic, domestic. Due to, due to. Emergency, emergency. Executive, executive. Flight, flight. In line with, in line with. Incident, incident. Inform, inform. Inquiry, inquiry. Insufficient, insufficient. Internal, internal. Investigation, investigation. Launch, launch. License, license. Management, management. Media, medium. On duty, on duty. Operating, operating. Operations, operations. Out of order, out of order. Oversee, oversee. Penalties, penalties. Permanent secretary, permanent secretary. Pilots, pilots. Punish, punish. Release, release. Reporters, reporters. Representative, representative. Reschedule, reschedule. Resolve, resolve. Responsible for, responsible for. Revocation, revocation. Risk, risk. Scheduled, scheduled. Session, session. Show up, show up. Situation, situation. Staff, staff. Standards, standards. Statement, statement. Stranded, stranded. Strike, strike. Submit, submit. Suspended, suspended, suspension, suspension, tackle, tackle, tension, tension, transport minister, transport minister, transport ministry, transport ministry, up to, upgrade, upgrade, urgent, urgent, violation, violation, warning, warning. That's today's story and vocabulary. You have a great day. I'll see you next time here on Break Time with Monte.